Die, motherfucker. Mm. Come on. Yes. Yes. I got you. I fucking got you. Whoa. Hello? Really? You don't say. So, let me get this straight. SoJ Shadow Plays merch is at Designed by Humans. There's stickers? No way. Wait, there's mugs too? I'll order a mug! What? Through the magic of editing, I got a mug already? Huh. Look at that shit. Neat. And you're telling me that they can get all this from Designed by Humans through... Really? Really? And it's in the link. And it's pretty cheap? Nice! I'll be sure to let everybody know. Thank you. Huh. Neat. Now it's time to go do the review. Yep. We're ready. Let's do the fucking intro. Warning, this is my personal top 10 list based on my own thoughts and opinions on each game. Do not take it personal or anything. It's just my own love for these said games and how I have personally ranked them. If you do not see your favorite game on here or did not like the order of which I place these games, then please create your own personal list in the comment section below. Alright, let's get this thing started. At number 10 is Undertale. Now, before you kill me in the comment section below, I have my own good reasons on why Undertale is my number 10. Again, this game came out in 2015. It's a good game. I love it for its puzzles. I love it for its storyline. I even love the cast of characters that you can have a relationship with as a friend or have an enemy as. The game itself is amazing. However, the fan service that's been crying out for it, the cartoons that have been made, the everything else, it's kind of an overkill to the game itself. It's like taking your favorite song and blaring it a bajillion times on the radio in one day. You like how it sounds, you like the enjoyment of it, you like everything in between. However, the repetitiveness of it can stray you away over time, making its charm that was once good kind of dulled down in a bad manner. Although many people will bash me about this being number 10, and again, I apologize, this to me is a good game still. This is why I considered it on my list. But again, just the fan service has overkilled it to the point where it's, kind of gotten shot down after a while. However, I still do appreciate everything this game has to offer, and I do like it for what it is as a game. That being said, let's get on to number 9. At number 9, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Now, storyline-wise, it's a really good game of the franchise, filling you in on the events that happened after the end of Black Ops 1. But when it gets to the multiplayer aspect of the game, that's where things start to differ. Initially, the multiplayer aspect is fun. You have multiple game modes and a lot of fun all throughout. However, due to modifications of consoles, be it the Xbox 360 or the PS3, the multiplayer aspect has kind of been thrown out the window due to modders and hackers trying to destroy the fun aspect of the game, where it's a community playing together. And that's kind of why it's at number 9. It's enjoyable when it wants to be, but when you get into the multiplayer, more times than not, you find yourself in these modded lobbies where people try to cheat to win rather than the true aspect of the game, where it's, you try to have fun, win or lose. You try to enjoy the match that you have, and you build experience upon it, and you grow as a player to become better. When you have someone like a hacker come in and just try to do all this stuff in order to win for himself, it kind of kills the fun aspect out of the game. It makes you seem like your progression as a player is going nowhere. So, this is why it's personally at my number 9. At number 8, we have Mega Man X. Now, the original Mega Man franchise for the Nintendo was really good, until the latter end of its life cycle. But when Mega Man X came out for the Super Nintendo, oh boy, did it improve immensely. It took everything great about the original Mega Man and just turned the dial to 11. Now as X, you do the same stuff. Destroy robots, take their powers, and stop the forces of the evil Dr. Wily. Still a good game all around though. And in the first level, it teaches you all the mechanics that you need to know of that game. Literally, within that first level, it's great. I mean, it doesn't jam it down your throat. Oh, you gotta press this button to shoot. Oh, you gotta press this button to jump. You gotta do this to do this. And no, it's simple, it's easy to pick up, hard to put down, and as soon as you get in a good spot where you think it's comfortable and you know what you're doing, it gets a little harder, making it more challenging. And you have abilities and hidden abilities that you never thought was possible in the game, like Ryu's Hadouken. Yes, Ryu's Hadouken from Street Fighter is also in that game, which can one-shot enemies. Oh my god, it's so good. But this is why it's at my number 8 spot. It's a great game, but it's not my all-time, number 1 spot. Now at number 7 is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This PlayStation 1 game is considered a gem in my eyes, from its vast exploration, hence the term Metroidvania, to its illustrious gameplay and graphics. Now, be that as it may, it does have its faults in some areas. Some of the map parts tend to screw you over, as well as the horrible, and laughable voice acting. Although it's not as bad as the Resident Evil voice acting, it's still very laughable. Although I like this game a lot. Even when you think you're done at 100%, completionists know that, oh boy, are we wrong. It doesn't peak at 100%, it stops at 200.6%. Now you're wondering, wait, how is it 200.6? Well, if you do it correctly, there's an inverted castle, aka there's an upside down version of that castle that you once explored 100% all the way through. But now you have to find your way to Dracula and do it in an upside down manner, which makes the game more interesting. It also adds RPG elements to this game, making your character progressively better and or worse, depending on what you wear, and other things. But the level up system is pretty sweet. To me, this is one of my favorite games of all time, but again, it doesn't rank super high, so this is why it's at my number 7. Now, coming in at number 6 is Sonic Mania. Now, this game was a surprise to a lot of people. Because when Sega announced a new Sonic game, we were all thinking the same thing. A new Sonic game. Oh, great. What kind of new crap are they going to throw at us this time? But once people saw the video and realized it's a new 2D adventure reminiscent of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic CD, all wrapped up in this glorious, beautiful package, fans like me started to bust a tear in our eyes. Like, we couldn't believe it. For many, many years, we've seen countless crappy Sonic games with maybe a few decent ones. So for Sonic Mania to come out, and for Christian Whitehead, the man behind the ports of Sonic 1, 2, and 3 on mobile, Sonic CD on mobile, etc., and musician T. Lopez combining, as well as these other creators combining to make this magnificent game, it was a godsend. From the moment you start it to the moment you beat the final boss, it is good, not only graphics-wise, because it feels like something that's reminiscent of the early 90s, but the music belongs in Sonic as well, from the old classics to the remixed classics. It is a gem. And even the hard-boiled heavies, Robotnik's or Eggman's new little side bosses, they fit in the Sonic franchise as well, so it's very fitting. This is why I love it, because the replayability is amazing. And the End Knuckles mode is also amazing, crying out to those memes from long ago. This is why it's my number 6. Coming in at number 5 is Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Bandai Namco hit a gem with this one, bringing in characters old and new, from all the slew of Tekkens from the past, as well as game modes that the original Tekken Tag Tournament had to offer. Now, the game had a lot of game modes as well, ranging from the arcade storyline to bowling. The game franchise itself was good up until a certain point. A few hit and misses in the Tekken franchises, so fans kinda liked this new tournament, the new tag tournament part, because it had a lot more to offer, but still keeping the core gameplay. The only downside of this game is the online. The only reason I say that is because connectivity issues between you and the player you're going against tends to vary. One moment you can have a crisp, clean, 60 frames per second online battle with someone, and then the next match can turn into a 15 frame per second glitch fest, and you have no idea what you're doing and you're constantly losing. Other than that small thing though, everything else in this game is amazing. Amazing. Even the music is amazing. Despite it having a dubsteppy type feel to it, with a lot of, wubs and hardcore, sounds, it's still fitting for the atmosphere and the areas that you fight in. So, to me, this is why it's at my number 5. Coming in at number 4 is a game that I like to really play. It's Super Mario World. I mean, for heck, I speedrun this game on the ROM hack that it has, the Super Mario World Odyssey. The game alone, the original game alone, itself is a beautiful masterpiece brought together, and you just can't stop playing from the moment you start. It has all these different worlds, 8 worlds to be exact, a hidden star world, an even more hidden secret bonus world, a ton of exploration, a ton of different items. Yoshi's involved in this bad boy, and you can go at your own pace, at your own style, finding little nooks, crannies, special areas that you never knew. The storyline's the same though. Gotta rescue the princess, wahoo! But alone, that game makes for a good time, not just with one player, but for two players, because you could play as either Mario or Luigi. The game's progressively difficult, yet fun, without, too much going on at once. It's catered to your style of gameplay, but has its own set of rules that you have to go by. So, even if you're new to the whole Super Mario world, you can slowly but surely learn, okay, I can do this, I can't do that. Okay, these bad guys will hurt me if I do this, but not if I do this. It's very fun and very exciting. It's not my end-all be-all, however. It's very close, though. It is in the top 5 range at number 4 because it is so damn good and the replay value is so friggin' high. Love this game. But now, let's go on to number 3. At number 3 is Gunstar Heroes for the Sega Genesis. Now, this game to me is literally one of my top 3. Personally, it is my number 3. This game is good. Really freaking good. Like, I don't even have to explain it. However, I will. It's a basic premise where you have 2 characters who are brothers. You have Red and you have Blue. Typical names, right? So they have to save the world. Basically from the end-all be-all. The destruction of mankind. And all these enemies come at you. You have different oddly colored named characters as your enemies as well, like pink, or black, or orange, or green. Who's green being brainwashed by the Empire. Anyways, you basically have all these multiple weapons, and they can interchange and combine to create all these different types of weapons, and oh my god, the platforming, the game itself, it's fun. Excitingly fun, and the graphics, even at Sega Genesis standards, is pretty good to this day. Even with certain enemies that seemed 3D-esque, seem to pop out and actually feel like they are, in a way, 3D, but only within the limitations of the Sega Genesis hard drive back then. It's mind-blowing. It's something that I thoroughly enjoyed playing all the way through from start to finish. Even though the game's roughly about an hour or so long, the replayability, the enjoyment value is very, very high. If I could recommend this game as one of my top 3, I do. And this is why it is at my number 3. At number 2 is, oddly enough, Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, this game is fucking amazing. And yes, this is a swear, because this is how good of a game this is to me. It takes the first Kingdom Hearts and the in-between game of both Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, Chain of Memories, and it expands upon it. It takes what stories that were in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories and brings it into 2, filling in certain gaps, but opening up the door to many more questions. Like, who's Roxas? What is Roxas? What's going on with this Organization 13? Why are the worlds disconnected? Why are new worlds connected? It's so many things. And the biggest thing that really gets to my heart every time is the 1000 Heartless battle. That's right. The PS2 had that capacity to throw at you 1000 enemies right in your face, and you just mowed them down like a lawnmower going right on the grass. Just nyeh. But the graphics were amazing, the storyline is good, the Final Fantasy characters you've known and love are there, the voice acting is spot on, just like everything about the game is so good, and the drive forms are freaking good. Except for the anti-form Sora. Like, that's the only downfall to that, is the anti-form Sora. I mean, he's fast, yeah, he could do some damage, yeah, but he's weak. Other than that, though, I mean, come on! This is why it's at my number 2 spot. I gush over this game. If I could stop everything in the world and play Kingdom Hearts 2 right now, I freaking will. That being said, though, guys, we're almost there at the number 1 spot. I wonder what it is. And at number 1, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. To me, this is one of my personal and favorite all-time games of my childhood. The reason I'm putting this so high at number 1 is because this is literally the first video game ever that got me into video gaming. I remember clearly, I was at a friend's house when I was a kid, about 7 or 8, and he just popped on The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, and my mind was blown. I was like, what? What? I couldn't believe it. So when I got older, I just started to play it, and I fell in love with it. And granted, the world seemed big at that time, but as I got more and more experienced on it, I knew where things were. The puzzles were fun and exciting, and the platforming, the lack thereof between the X and Y, was good. The fighting was fun. The skills were interesting and unique to their specific areas. The map was, and it still is, huge, because not only do you have the light world, which is the good world that you start off in, then you have to fight the evil wizard, and you get transported into this dark world, which is a reverse kind of messed around version of the original light world that you were in. And you can interchange at any time with a mirror, making for more interesting, plays and like, oh my god, I'm gushing like a fucking fanboy over this because it's that damn good. Like, you get so lost in that game. There are speed runs of this game. There are ROM hacks of this game. There's even ROM hack speed runs of this game. It's that fucking good. Like my friend Ross over on Twitch. You guys gotta see the things he does with the Legend of Zelda randomizers. Like, oh my god. You could get lost in that and you'd still be enthralled on how good it is from start to finish. It is that damn good. Like, I know, like, I don't know, you gotta play it yourself. You literally have to play the freaking game for yourself. Fucking try it out. I don't care how you find a way to do it. Just find a way to play this game and play it all the way through. You will not regret it. 100% guaranteed, or your non-existent money back. You will not regret it. Alright? Alright! And that wraps up the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Now, excuse me, I need to go change my appearance. I look so much better. Well, take care, everybody.